Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
Okay, let's talk about how natural pools save money. You've got to consider how much money you're spending on chlorine right now. Chlorine tabs on average right now are about $2.50 per tab. You're going to use, most pools, average, we're just talking averages here, 20,000 gallons, are going to use 5 tabs per week. 5 tabs per week on average, 9 months out of the year. You don't need it year round. During the cold, you don't need to add tabs to the pool. That'll help you reduce your stabilizer levels. So we're just going to calculate 9 months out of the year, adding 5 tabs per week at $2.50 per tab. That totals $500 per year. When you multiply $12.50, that's 5 tabs, times 40 weeks, 9 months out of the year, that's $500 per week, per year in chlorine tabs. Most pools are going to use roughly 2 pounds of shock, 1 pound per 10,000 gallons, every other week. You may use more, you may use less, but we're just talking averages here. Every other week, 2 pounds of shock. Shock right now is $8 per pound, so 2 pounds is 16. So every other week, now you do need to shock year round because you're not using tabs year round, you are going to shock year round. So at $16 per 2 pounds of shock, on average used each time the pool is shocked, times 26 weeks out of the year, half of the year, that's $416 in shock. So in chlorine tabs, you've got $500. In chlorine shock, I wrote it all down here. You've got $416 in shock, totaling $916 per year you're using in chlorine. This doesn't include algicide. Some of you might be using algicide for the pool. And if you're using algicide, that's an added cost too. The cool thing about a natural pool is it's a copper pool, and most of your algicides are copper algicides. So there's no need for an algicide when you have a natural pool. So you can eliminate that cost also. Okay, but whenever we're just looking at chlorine, $916 on average per year. The copper system, guys, is like $1,800. It's a little over $1,800, the whole system. And if you're looking, you'll notice it doesn't just come with natural sanitation, the copper system. It also comes with UV sanitation, ozone, and a descaler. So you're kind of getting a nice little bundle. I don't even really talk about those other things very much because I think the most important thing is the natural sanitation. It's good for your health, saves you money like we're talking about here. But that takes me back to, you know, I understand that we're saving money. So $916 per year, in just 2 years, the system has paid for itself. So after 2 years, the system comes with a 5-year manufacturer's warranty. You can extend that warranty for, I think it's a couple of $100. It's not much, to 3 more years. You can extend the warranty for 3 more years for a couple of $100. You can get 8 years of manufacturer warranty on the natural system, but I can tell you guys, it's going to last way longer than that. Way longer than that. The only thing you have to replace is the copper cell. And the copper cell is going to cost about $300 to replace. The copper cell isn't that much. If you want to replace it yourself, it'll cost you even less. But we'll send a tech over. There'll be a service fee to replace it. We'll do a multi-point inspection while we're there. So roughly about $300 once a year for us to come and replace the copper cell, versus $916 a year on toxic chlorine tabs and shock. And I don't know if you guys noticed in the last video, the CDC says whenever you use chlorine in water, it contaminates the water. Okay, this is new to me. I want to be sure to emphasize this because I just noticed this very recently. I've always said that we use chlorine to sanitize the water, but according to the CDC, we're not using chlorine to sanitize the water. We're using chlorine to contaminate the water, which explains why nothing lives in it. That's why it's nice and crystal clear, is because nothing can survive it. So that's an interesting thing to consider. So you've got one option is natural, actual sanitation and natural and healthy. The other option is toxic contamination. I never considered that before until recently. So it costs less money monetarily But to me, that's a small thing. Like, yeah, you're going to save money. Everybody wants to save money. That's great. Hey, it absolutely saves money. I can show you on paper. In just 2 years, you'll be recouping your cost in chlorine. But I really think, guys, the most important thing is the health savings, because you can't put a dollar value on that, guys. You can't put a dollar value on that. The health savings, not just the health savings, it's like it's a double positive, because not only are you getting away from toxic chlorine, but you're now exposing yourself to healthy, beneficial copper. So it's a double positive, getting rid of a negative and gaining a positive. So I think that's where the real savings is in your health and your well-being, but it also saves money also as well. So that's how the natural sanitation system saves money, right there. So, all right, guys, on to the next one. Hey, let me throw in a quick other note about the money savings. Let's just extrapolate this a little bit further. I didn't finish extrapolating it. So if you're spending $916 a year on average on chlorine, and if a natural system will last you, well, the manufacturer's warranty lasts 8 years. So, and the system's gonna last longer than that, guys. I'm just saying the manufacturer's warranty lasts 8 years. $916 per year on chlorine totals $7,328 over 8 years. Over 8 years, okay? Or the natural system costs $2,500. It's $300 if you have us come out and replace the cell once a year. And honestly, it might even last you longer than a year, but we'll just call it a year for a good marker here. 300 times 8 years is $2,400. So 25 to install it, 24 for the copper cell over 8 years, that's $4,900. So the difference is in savings is over 8 years in chlorine, you got $7,328 in chlorine, toxic chlorine that you're contaminating your pool with, versus sanitizing your pool with healthy natural copper for $4,900 for 8 years. For 8 years. So it's almost half as much. Clearly it's less. So you absolutely, without a doubt, save money when you switch to natural sanitation. Not only are you going to save money monetarily, but you're going to save your health and the environment at the same time. Let's go.